So, so Elon Musk is being sued right now. Elon Musk is being sued for $250 billion because Dogecoin is fake. And apparently, these investors who never realized that Dogecoin was always fake have suddenly figured it out. And I'm going to talk about the Elon Musk lawsuit. I'm going to talk about what's going on with the stock market and also talk about things you might want to consider with your own money as we figure out how to make money in this new economy. So get comfortable, buckle up a seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about black wealth and black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that we are black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means we are closing the racial wealth gap. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means that we put our children ahead of the curve economically. Black first means we prepare for the future. If you agree with this philosophy, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat, hashtag B1. So I want to say hello, Tawana and Miss Tamika and Nathaniel Lockridge and Tim Wright and Super Arizona and everybody on Instagram. What's going on? My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. And feel free to check out boycewatkins.com by hitting the link in the bio. There's lots of free resources on how to become a better investor. Now, let's get started. How many of you, give me a yes or no in the chat, how many of you are aware that Elon Musk is getting sued for an ungodly sum of money right now? How many of you heard about this lawsuit? Give me a yes or no. Elon Musk is being sued right now for a whopping $258 billion. So I guess this guy says, I'm going to take you for everything you got because you pissed me off and I'm mad at you. And you tricked me, you fooled me, you got me to invest in something that wasn't good. And the guy probably lost a lot of money. The plaintiff in the lawsuit is a guy named Keith Johnson in New York, who's accusing Musk and his companies Tesla and SpaceX of running a pyramid scheme to inflate the price of the cryptocurrency. The lawsuit added that defendants falsely and deceptively claimed that Dogecoin is a legitimate investment when it has no value at all. According to the lawsuit, since defendant Musk and his corporations SpaceX and Tesla began purchasing, developing, investing, promoting, supporting, and operating Dogecoin in 2019, plaintiff and the class have lost approximately $86 billion in what is called a crypto pyramid scheme. The lawsuit also details Musk's tweets and videos on Dogecoin over the years. The lawsuit highlights how Musk referred to himself as the Doge Father while promoting his appearance on SNL in April 2021. Johnson, who is referred to in the lawsuit as an American citizen who was defrauded out of money by defendants, Dogecoin crypto pyramid scheme, is suing for $86 billion in damages, representing the drop in the cryptocurrency's value, asking to triple those losses with an additional $172 billion. All right, so let me start off by asking you guys a question. How many of you believe that this lawsuit has merit? If you were the judge in this lawsuit, how many of you would say, yeah, this is you got a good suit here. We need to go ahead and we need to go ahead and pass this thing through because justice was not served. How many of you give me a yes or no? Yes, if you support the plaintiff, if you support the person who filed the suit. No, if you think it's a bunch of BS. No, if you think he should have known better. No, if you think this has no merit. Okay, I see zero merit. We don't have enough facts yet. Okay. All right, yes. Hameen says yes. Okay, I see no merit. Okay, first thing I want to say about this that's really interesting is Elon Musk. Elon Musk probably has a ton of lawsuits against him all the time, every day, no matter what. One of the things that we talk about when we talk about protecting your wealth is that once you get a lot of wealth, people are going to sue you just because. Will Smith once talked about how he keeps 8 lawyers on retainer just because people are always suing him for anything. Like I looked at the color of your grass on your lawn and it made my stomach hurt, and so now I'm suing you. I slipped on the sidewalk in front of your house, so it's your fault that I walked by your house and slipped on the sidewalk, right? So this does happen. Just because a lawsuit's filed doesn't mean that it has merit. It doesn't mean it's going to win. But one of the things that's really interesting about this is that this is predictable. First off, right now you have a huge market decline. And whenever you have a market decline, there tends to be a bunch of lawsuits filed. Whenever money gets lost, that's when people start going back and scraping through the ashes or of the bankruptcy or whatever and saying, what little thing did you do wrong to where I can Monday morning quarterback it and come back at you and say, you did that wrong. That was illegal. That was wrong. Because here's the deal. Look, give me a yes or no. Do you think that this guy will be filing a lawsuit if Dogecoin was doing well? Give me a yes or no. If Dogecoin had gone up, say, remember everybody thought Dogecoin was going to $1? I don't know. I don't think it ever reached $1. I think they were hoping it would go to $1. What if Dogecoin had reached $3 and he was sitting on swole, sitting on sitting on 1.5 million, buying, trying to buy himself a private jet or something? What do you think that he would have filed that lawsuit if Dogecoin had taken off instead of gone down? Give me a yes or no. No, he wouldn't have, right? No, the law, there wouldn't be a lawsuit. They'd be like, yeah, hooray for Dogecoin. Dogecoin is the best, man. I love me some Dogecoin. And unfortunately, that didn't happen for him. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys what's happened with the price of Dogecoin. Some of y'all already know because some of y'all already heavily invested in Dogecoin. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just here to I'm gonna share the news that's going to probably hurt your feelings a little bit. But the reality is that if you go back and you listen to videos about Dogecoin that I did 2 years ago, I was telling you guys way back then, Dogecoin has never been an investment. Pinocchio was never a real boy. Pinocchio was never a real boy. Dogecoin, you see here, it's dropped 81%. It's down to a nickel. Let's see here. It's the peak of Dogecoin in the last year. It looks like at the height of the frenzy was about 34 cents. But wait, I think it hit a higher number than that. Actually, here's the real peak. 64 cents, May 7th. 2021. And here's the crazy thing. If you started investing in Dogecoin way back here, you could have actually made some money, right? You go back to January 29th, 2021. If you bought it at 2 cents, well, now you can sell it for a nickel. That's not a terrible investment, right? And so here's what I kind of want you to understand about Dogecoin. Dogecoin, here's the reason why I think the lawsuit is stupid. I mean, I get it, but I don't. I get it, but I don't. And let me explain what I mean. Legally speaking, you could make the argument that Elon Musk was using his platform to inflate the price of Dogecoin in a way where it was inevitable that at some point the bubble was going to pop. You could make that argument. You could say, look, man, you were on Twitter telling people to buy this stuff. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people are gullible. They're going to do what you tell them to do. And you led them down a path where they lost a lot of money. I can understand that to some extent. But then there's this thing that a lot of people don't believe in anymore. It's kind of makes me old fashioned. Nobody agrees with me on this, but there's this thing called common sense. Common sense says you don't go do what people tell you to do on the internet. I've been telling y'all that. Some of y'all getting relationship advice from people on the internet, and it's messing up your relationships. They're telling you to take weird health food and eat and take vitamins when you don't even know what's in the damn vitamin, and you're getting sick. You got COVID remedies that don't even work, but you're doing it because your favorite internet influencer told you to do it. Well, stop that. Common sense says this. Common sense says that if you go back and you look at the original paperwork on Dogecoin, the original white paper that was filed, the creators of Dogecoin, two white guys from Sydney named Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer, they stated from the beginning in plain English that this is a damn joke, that this currency has no value. We are going to produce 100 billion of these fake coins because we're making fun of the fact that y'all so crazy, y'all buy any damn thing right now. They said this. They said this in the paperwork. So this guy who's filing the lawsuit, maybe he can't read. Maybe he doesn't, he doesn't like, a lot of people don't like to read. And I'm telling y'all keep running away from books. You're going to be running towards slavery. Life does not end well if you don't read books, if you don't read. And so maybe he can't read, but they made it clear, almost like a warning label on a box of medicine or something, where they say, look, this pill might cause diarrhea, or this could actually cause you to get fat, or eating too much sugar is bad for your health, or smoking might kill you. But yet, despite the fact that they stated on the label clearly that smoking might kill you, you still made the decision to smoke 4 packs a day. So I'm the guy who says, yeah, I get it. I understand how the courts assume that you're so stupid that you're going to just do what somebody tells you to do. But as a free-thinking person, I'm a person who says, it was on the label and you knew what you were getting into. And I assume that you know how to read. So the consequences belong to you. So as far as this lawsuit goes, I'm not with it. I don't support it. I don't, I think it's kind of silly and frivolous. At the same time, I think that there is a reality that an Elon Musk has to acknowledge, that he does have a lot of influence over people. When Elon talks, people listen. And so for Musk to act like he had nothing to do with what other people do, I think that's a little bit disingenuous. So, for example, I'm kind of an internet influencer. You know, I ain't hot shit or nothing, but I got about 1 million subscribers total on different YouTube channels. And I know that people listen to me because I got doctor in front of my name. That's because I have a real PhD. You can go look it up on the internet, and I'm an expert on financial stuff. And so I know that when I open my mouth, there are people that are going to hear what I say and they're going to apply some of that. So, and that's just a reality. But at the same time, if you follow this platform, you'll know that for many years I've always told you, hear what I have to say. Let me influence you because I do know some things. But at the end of the day, I want you to be smart enough to make intelligent decisions on your own. That's why I say this is the platform for intelligent Black people. I don't want you in here blindly following stuff just because somebody said it. Now, anyway, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, if you want to become a better investor, we have a stock market challenge actually that's totally free. The URL's on the screen, theblackstockmarketchallenge.com. If you go through this challenge, you will become a better investor. This is the best time to become a better investor because right now the market is cheap. Right now there are great opportunities everywhere. Right now there's a lot of money to be made. I just had a dream last night. It was really weird. I was hanging out with Warren Buffett for about an hour, and it was 1998. And in the dream, I saw Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We were talking about Oprah Winfrey. I asked some questions about Bill Gates, and we also did the long jump. And we were running. We did a lot of running. And I think it's because I need to go running because I'm getting kind of fat. Also, I think it's because I just saw a picture of Wilt Chamberlain. I think Wilt has a son that plays for the Golden State Warriors or something. Wilt has probably a lot of sons because I think Wilt has a lot of sex with a lot of women. But anyway, so in the spirit of my dream about Warren Buffett, I would encourage you to jump into the Black Stock Market Challenge. It's easy, it's free, it'll make you a better investor. The URL is right there on the screen. All right, so let me jump into a little bit more on this lawsuit with Elon Musk and over this Dogecoin thing. So let's just start with that general premise. Dogecoin was worthless from the beginning. The founders of Dogecoin, when they created it, stated it on their white paper that this coin is worthless. They pretty much said this coin is garbage. They said if you buy it, you buy at your own risk. It probably means you might be a sucker. And you're really proving our point that the world has gotten so crazy that they will buy anything. This has happened all throughout economic history. In the very beginning, the first bubble, right now you have a bubble. The bubble's popping. That's why the market's dropping. So the first asset bubble recorded was actually for tulips. There was a time where everybody felt like owning a tulip was like just the thing to do. So people didn't really know exactly why they wanted to buy a tulip, but they didn't see any real utility in the tulip. But they would say, hey, we want to buy tulips because everybody else is buying tulips. So what happened is you had something similar to what you have in the crypto space, which is what they call the greater fool theory, where you buy something. People don't buy Dogecoin because they expect to be able to use it for anything relevant. They don't buy Dogecoin because they expect to be able to take it to the store. They don't buy Dogecoin because they think they can actually buy a car with it or shoes or whatever. They buy Dogecoin because they're hoping that the price will go up so they can sell it at a higher price. That is what is called the greater fool theory. So tulips were the first example of the greater fool theory, and eventually that bubble burst and people lost all their wealth because they put all their money into tulips, when from the very beginning somebody would have probably said, why are you putting all your money into a damn flower? Putting all your money into a flower is probably not a good idea because flowers don't have a lot of real intrinsic value. And so if you look at Dogecoin and you see that it's dropped 81% over the last year, this does not mean Dogecoin can't come back. What occurred, in my view, was that once Dogecoin started getting this push from Mark Cuban and Elon Musk and all these other people, I think that the founders of Dogecoin tried to kind of mess around and say something like, hey, maybe we could actually control the supply of Dogecoin and make it into a legitimate currency. And to that extent, this is where I think it could be somewhat rational to invest in Dogecoin, because there could be some idea to say that you're not so much investing in the greater fool theory that the price is going to go up and somebody's going to buy it from you, but you could be investing in the idea that maybe this community is so strong that one day people will actually make a decision to say, we're going to recognize Dogecoin as a currency. That's a possibility. If you had 10 million people that all got together and said, look, I'm going to accept your Dogecoin, you accept mine, and we're all going to sort of do business together with this currency, then that could actually create real economic value. But that comes from what they call utility. That means the ability to use Dogecoin for something other than sitting there and just having it in your account where you're just staring at it. And so what's interesting, though, is I was reading the history of Dogecoin, and Jackson Palmer, there's a guy named Jackson Palmer who was one of the founders of Dogecoin, who actually left the Dogecoin community. Let me see if I can find this. He left the community because I think he just concluded that the world is just full of stupid people, and he was just he didn't want to participate in the nonsense. He left the community. The crypto, he felt like the whole crypto community was a little bit fraudulent, and in 2015 he left, and he had no plans to return, having come to the belief that cryptocurrency, originally conceived as a libertarian alternative to money, is fundamentally exploitative and built to enrich its top proponents. His co-founder, Billy Marcus, agreed that Palmer's position was generally valid. So basically, Jackson Palmer, the creator of Dogecoin, I don't know if he came back. Maybe he changed his position over time, but he just left. He said this crypto thing is crazy. The people that tend to get paid on crypto are the people who create the actual crypto, because it allows you to kind of become this sort of economic creative force where you get to manifest and decide how many units of this currency is going to exist, and then people give you real money, and next thing you know, you're rich. And then if the currency plummets, then they lose everything, and you gain the world. Now let me look up one more thing that I thought was really interesting. They called Dogecoin a pyramid scheme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up I'm going to read to you the definition of a pyramid scheme, so you know what that is, which is actually slightly different from a Ponzi scheme. But they said a pyramid scheme is a form of investment illegal in the U.S. in which each paying participant recruits two further participants, with returns being given to early participants using money contributed by later ones. I don't know if that specifically fits the definition of a pyramid scheme, because it involves recruiting. And so a lot of the MLMs that you see people participating in, they're about this close to being a pyramid scheme. What makes them different from a pyramid scheme is that they actually have a product. They'll have a product in the background, and they'll say, no. We're not trying to recruit new members. We're trying to sell this product. We're trying to sell this, this glue and these overpriced vitamins. That's what we're really actually doing. That's why we're doing it. Well, really, y'all know what it is. They make their money by recruiting people, right? But they have to do that in order to avoid criminal charges for running a pyramid scheme. So I don't know if this necessarily fits the specific definition of a pyramid scheme, but the general idea is that in a pyramid scheme, it's a situation where the people who create the scheme do well, and they understand the whole landscape, and they know that their job is to get people to sign on and to invest in this thing, right? And as they get others to invest in this thing that they created, they see the price go up. And then because they created the scheme, they know when to get out. They know when to get out. And really, when you're talking about any type of shady, crazy, risky investing, I found that that's kind of the key to everything. Know when to get out. You ever watch like a movie about a drug kingpin, like the movie Blow, or what's that other one that I really like, Snowfall? And you're watching, right? And this guy is making all this money, and he's making like $1 million a week. And do you ever sit back and say, when are you gonna get out of the game? Like, this game is gonna end badly. Like, why don't you leave now? You have $300 million. You have more. You have so much money that you could fill up a whole house. Your bedroom was filled with money from floor to ceiling. The game's going to end bad. Why don't you go ahead and get out of the game? I never understood that. I really don't get that. I would say that the smartest dope dealers of all time were the ones who said, okay, I made $100 million. Now I'm going to go legit as quick as possible because I know that this is not going to end well. I guess maybe it's the financial addiction. Maybe it's the sense of invincibility. I'll never get caught because I'm too smart. Yeah. You're not the first person to say that. But in generally speaking, that seems to be kind of the issue with the pyramid scheme. So what I would say to you is this. Look, I'm not telling you to go out here and create or participate in a Ponzi scheme or recruit other people for any of these things. I'm not telling you to do any of that. Some of y'all may be involved with some of these things. I see blessing looms going through where they'll write this whole long message, like using all this language of Black empowerment to convince you to participate in a loom. Even though a loom is technically a pyramid scheme. And I get it. If you want to participate, I think that's fine. But I would say whether you participate or not, I would encourage you to know when to get out of the game. Like get out of the game, because eventually those games always come to an end. They come down crashing and burning, and people lose a lot of money. And that's when people get sued. That's when people get arrested. That's when bad things start to happen. Typically, these lawsuits occur after somebody loses a lot of money. So a lot of the people who believed in Elon Musk, who were buying Dogecoin because he loved it, who were caught up in the frenzy, they're just mad because they got out of the game too late. The smart investors left a long time ago. They sold Dogecoin when it hit 30 cents. They said, my Lord Jesus, I bought this for a penny and it's now worth 30 cents. I ain't got to be greedy. I'm not waiting for $1. That's for the suckers on Reddit. That's for the people who are sitting around on these online forums really getting caught up in this whole. Remember, one of the things that blew Dogecoin up was there's a whole TikTok campaign on Dogecoin to $1, Doge for $1. So people started believing that stuff. Right, and same thing with these Wall Street apes, or they call them games and AMC apes. Right? I don't want to be a fucking ape. I'm not. You're not a monkey. Be intelligent. Apes are stupid. Apes just grunt and follow the crowd. No, I don't want to be an AMC ape. If you're going to invest, if you're going to get in there and get paid, well, then get paid and leave, right? Leave the building before the party crashes, because once the party is over, once the liquor stops flowing, the music stops playing, that's when everybody gets arrested. That's when people die from alcohol poisoning. That's when you find the dead bodies in the attic and you got to explain what happened at the party. But if you say, hey, I was in there and I had a good time till about 10 o'clock. And then I have evidence to show that me and my buddy got in the car and left and went home, the police are not going to come to your house. So ultimately, I think with this particular thing, what you're seeing is you're seeing the after party right now. You're seeing the after effects of this, what Alan Greenspan referred to as irrational exuberance. Alan Greenspan was a former chairman of the Federal Reserve who was seen as a genius back in the 1990s because he got the economy humming during the Bill Clinton administration. Everybody thought he was super smart. Then they found out that bubbles pop. Bubbles always burst. And right now in the capitalist society you live in, you're just naturally going to see these ebbs and these flows. And so whenever you start seeing things getting crazy, whenever you start seeing people getting into a frenzy, when you start seeing people shaking the bones, rolling the dice, betting on anything, investing in everything, that's when you want to sit back and be careful. Warren Buffett always said it best. He said, you want to be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. So when everybody was greedy and everybody was feeling good, Warren Buffett sat back on $160 billion in cash that he refused to deploy because he said, I'm not putting my money at risk in the middle of all this nonsense. Now, I bet your last dollar, if you Google Warren Buffett right now, he is probably making major acquisitions of distressed companies that he can now buy on the cheap because these companies went flat after this bubble eventually burst. Okay. So that's kind of the dynamic of the market. That's kind of what I'm seeing. That's kind of how these things work. All right, guys. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. And also, if you want to educate your kids on wealth, don't forget we have great financial workbooks that you can take a look at. You can go to financialworkbooks.com, or you can go to boycewatkins.com and you can find all that stuff over there. Lots of free stuff. So make sure you're working on your game. Make sure you're becoming a better investor. Just know that this too shall pass. In 2 years, you won't remember hardly any of this. So the goal is to do something right now so that 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you'll be doing better financially. Personally, right now, I'm buying a whole lot of stuff. So anyway, have a good day. It was wonderful speaking with you. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care now. Peace.